I ain't tripping. I used to. Yo, what's up? Splendid Radio on PharcydeTV. We got Deloor James. You know what I'm saying?
Smoke yours.
Yeah, we got Slink Johnson.
Yeah, it's your mama's favorite. You know what I'm saying?
Now you gonna just get right out there and disrespect the audience like that, huh?
Hey, homie, I'm at that age now. I'm getting older. I don't care, man, no more, man.
Say what you want to say. You can say what you want to say, baby.
I probably am their mama's favorite.
You know, and I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? He got up and made a sandwich and came back last time I had him on. So you know what I'm saying? You know,
You probably did it on live. Shit, show him how to make a real sandwich at the house.
Yeah,
I took a piss on to hear more live. I mean, I didn't put my dick out on camera though, but I wouldn't, nigga, I went in the bathroom, put the camera up in eye level, and I'm taking a piss. I guess it was too loud and obnoxious though.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You got to grow up at some point.
These is human bodily functions, man. If I come take a shit in your house, homie, that's like a sign of endearment, man. I really care about you. I like you. If I gonna open up my ass cheeks on your ivory domicile, man, that mean I really trust and care about you. But some niggas put cameras in their motherfucking bath toilets, man. Fucking freak.
Yeah, man. So for all y'all don't know, man, we got Slink Johnson, Black Jesus. You know what I'm saying? He tapped in. Him and Deloor are
it's me, baby.
They the Smoke Yours crew. You know what I'm saying? So before we just hop into all this, we'll start with Deloor. You know what I'm saying? He's a comedic actor. He does writing. He does skits. He didn't wait for the COVID stuff to jump off to the side. He wants to grab a writing pen and hop on YouTube and try to figure it out. And then we got Slink. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga look like a creep, man. He make me want to turn my camera off.
That's class. Then we got Slink, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you a trip about Slink. He loves his fans, and because they are fans. Like I hate to call people fans, but they are. There's people that recognize him from Black Jesus or whatever.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I told him the story, man. I reached out to Slink to be part of this little festival I was kind of throwing, and the funny part about it, and I'll tell the story again. I told it a million times, but shoot, somebody might be tapping in right now. They ain't tapped in. So I hit him on Instagram, and so we were going. He said he was with it, everything, whatever, and we're going back and forth, but we had never talked to each other. And then the event I think was on maybe like a Monday or a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So I hit him on a Friday night because my business partner, he was like, man, you need to get a drop from him, man. That'll help. And then the Golden Voice people had something to do with it. And so they were like, yeah, we need a drop. We need a drop. So I had never thought to call him before. And I called him, he answered. He actually did the drop. I ordered a pizza. So I got to the pizza spot, called him, found out it was really him, then ordered the pizza, and he had it shot back to me by the time the pizza came. But the funny part about it was, while I was driving up there, I was saying, okay, you've been going back and forth with him on Instagram, but you're driving, so you're gonna hit him when you get there. But before I hit him, I was like, man, I ain't even talked to the dude on the phone. This might not even be Slink Johnson. Might not even be Slink Johnson.
What it don't sound like, but I know what you mean. I have never talked to him. I'm about to ask this man to do a drop. Just call his phone. This might not even be his phone. Somebody might answer the phone like, hola.
No, yeah. I was like, man, I had no idea. And then the funny thing about it was, you know what I'm saying? He shot me the drop, and I want to say he edited it too, man. He might have edited. I don't know if he edited it or not, but I know he shot me the drop. And by the time my pizza was ready, and I was like, man, that's a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a printing company, and then I work with a group called the Pharcyde, and I would
group.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Oh, you a
the group.
Yeah.
If you work with the Pharcyde, you an OG, man. I mean, can I ask how old are you?
Oh man, I'm 49 years old. You know what I'm saying? Looking like $1 million with the.
I thought you was 39.
Oh man, if you knock that excess COVID weight off me, man, I'm still in the game. You know what I'm saying? I've been eating great. You know,
that COVID cholesterol.
man, oh man.
Cholesterol.
Yeah, I gotta balance it out. So I say that to say the same enthusiasm Slink had that first night when he just knocked that dropout for me real quick.
Right.
Has been the continued enthusiasm he had as I went from a fan to a friend. You know what I'm saying? Where I didn't like Black Jesus in a way because it used to make me want to come home from work and watch. Like I always get funny about stuff where I feel like I have to be home and watch something. I'm like, man, come on, man. You really gotta be home to watch it. You really gotta be watching it at midnight. You know what I'm saying? Not when to hit the club, back when we could go to clubs. You know what I'm saying? You really wanna, this is where it's at. And then I'll say before that, I ran into him at the DMV in Inglewood. You know what I'm saying? And I went up to him and he peeked his head in, and it was like, it wasn't a DMV, it was a AAA. And it was a gang of people in there, and nobody recognized him. I ran up to him, hey sir, like Black Jesus. People were looking at me like, who's that or whatever. And then he dipped out. So we've been cool since. And then since I've checked out his comedy and whatnot. So yeah, man, Slink has been a solid cat, man. I appreciate him coming and pulling in. I've seen so much smoke yours. I'm glad I'm finally able to see the co-founder. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate your help, man. And I don't want to go as far as saying I appreciate you've been instrumental in my survival. And I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. From the moment we met, we always been solid. You know, way more solid than this nigga Deloor. I appreciate you.
I was about to say, when you start talking all highly of him, I was like, I beg to differ.
Allow me to interject.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I do feel that I have to state the obvious. And right now the obvious is almost like maybe between age 4-year-old child and 16-year-old child. I'm protesting right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm in denial and protest because I know it's a wrap.
Oh God, here we go. There go another conversation.
I know it's a wrap, man. It's amazing to me, man. It's amazing to me how you just like, but that's life though, man. It's like, just because you have it in your hand, just because you may touch it, don't mean you got it. You know what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with it.
Well, we had such high. I'm not a Clipper hater.
Yeah,
you know, I'm LA. I love the Lakers, and I love the Lakers, and I'm not a Clipper hater. So saying that says we had so much. I say that to say we had so many high expectations for the Clippers. I just knew Kawhi would,
for real, bro,
more effective. I'm not saying he's not a great player. I figured he'd be more effective than he was this season.
What about Paul George?
PG too.
That's who needed to really kick in.
Man, it's what I saw happen with the Clippers, but I give it to them because they're a young team. I give that to them because they're a young team. The Lakers
got happy early, huh?
Yeah, the Lakers have done it a million times. The Lakers have always had some of the world's best talent on the basketball court. But me personally, one of the reasons it was easy for me to hop from the Lakers, but I've been off the Lakers for like, man, over 10 years. I was on the Celtics before the Lakers. After the Lakers, I was on the Celtics. Then the Celtics, I came over to the Clippers.
Hey, you can't be switching teams like that, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, brother.
I'm a floater, man.
Other stuff? You still got the other shit?
You know what? Nah, I wasn't. I let it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm at least
fuck that shit.
I'm at least with a team for 8 years. I at least give them 8 years. Like we not just like, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about the Clippers are, they did the thing that the Lakers had to understand. You can have a team with a whole bunch of talent, but if you don't play as a team, then the talent it don't even matter. You gotta be like, for the people that are probably not young enough to remember, like Magic Johnson, Kareem, James Worthy, AC Green, they could pass the ball without looking, like flawlessly, going full force down the court, and it was almost like they were kindred spirit. You know, they were part of each other. And now everybody's just trying to go for it.
That's true. Everybody's trying to be everybody's trying to be I wouldn't even say a Jordan. Everybody's trying to be like an early Kobe.
Yeah.
You know how Kobe was when he wanted to do it all. You know what I mean? And he had to understand that the team is chemistry. You need chemistry. You need to work together. And with the Clippers, they got together and like from the very beginning, once they found out they signed Leonard and motherfucking they got right on live clowning, get to making statements and shit. Like, bro, that's not how you do it. It's just like when you got something good coming up to you, it's better for you not to tell nobody until it actually gets into your hands, until you actually get it. You know, you can tell them, motherfucker, I get $1 million next week. You know what I mean? But if that check don't clear, now you don't have $1 million. You could tell them, motherfucker, I got $1 million last week, and you'd be better off. You know what I mean? They could have kept quiet and just let the game play out and then talk all that shit. You know what I mean?
I felt like they put LeBron pressure on Kawhi, and they're two different type of players. Kawhi is incredible,
right?
But LeBron is a warrior.
In a system, though. Like Kawhi don't really go out of the system. You know what I mean? He's so balanced in the sense where he don't really just take over a game.
What they need is me. See,
like
they
LeBron
need me.
Take over a game.
I'll take over the game. I will take over the game personally. I go out there and just sock niggas in the throat. I wouldn't even give a fuck about trying to grab the ball or nothing. My shit would be flagrant and just
kicked out. You get kicked out the first minute of the game.
That's what they need. They need somebody like me to come in and do some hard
and hurt the star player and leave.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You coming up with some conspiracy shit, man. Niggas gonna
I ain't putting up no numbers. So, you know, they just got me starting, but I ain't putting up no numbers.
And upper management be upset with him, you know. Upper management trying to put a hit on him, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, we got to get this guy out of here, man. This guy is too much. So tell me this, Deloor, what part of LA did you grow up in? I
grew up in the east side of LA, I should say. I grew up like around off the Firestone and May Avenue area, Compton Avenue, by Drew Junior High.
Okay.
And Bobo's.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of grew up at. Then I moved over to like Maine, but I always stayed east of the 110 freeway. But I went to school in Henry Clay and Westchester. So that's where that's where the busing came in. And that's where I even got my name from. You know what I mean? So.
Hey, man, I'll tell you this, man. Whoo, Westchester. Boy, oh, boy. Boy, oh, boy.
You didn't see the Slink, the snaps.
Hey.
Westchester, baby.
Hey, man.
Fuck Westchester, nigga.
And St. Mary's, you know what I'm saying? Westchester, St. Mary's, you know what I'm saying?
Man, St. Bernard's.
Woo! St. Bernard's. Y'all had girls over there, man. And it's a trip because people that are from the West Side, they got this little arrogance about them, but they did have doper girls than I had in high school, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, when I was in high school, we kind of got all mixed up, but up until maybe like the 10th grade, I was mixture of hip hop, punk rock, just a bunch of just stuff.
You had your punk rock days?
Oh yeah, man. I'm from Narbonne, man. We the South Bay.
Okay,
man.
you from Narbonne, okay.
Yeah, hey man, we was winning.
Deloor was a punk rocker for about 3 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
He had a mohawk. He used to wear the creeper boots.
Yeah, man. I went through that phase, but then around after the 10th grade, it tilted more to like it was like the trendy scene that was going on in LA.
Yeah.
You know, it was like the after part of Uncle Jam's army dances. It was like the costume.
Yeah, the silk shirts, you know what I'm saying? The jabots, you know what I mean?
Had leather loafer slippers, you know what I'm saying? Silk socks. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We tried to get fly.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It was just like, and it's so funny because I had a homeboy, and I'm just like, I'm from the South Bay, dude. I don't know nothing about this. And he's a dude that's in the group, and his mother would like, I guess she would lend him the car, or we had another homeboy that would come and pick us up. He was an older homeboy that would come and pick us up and take us to the stuff. And Imani's mom would be like, dang, why does he get the clothes and why does he pay the money to get into the clubs if he don't talk to the girls? And I was just like, man, I'm from Harbor City, man. We ain't seen nothing like, you know.
And that's what a nigga mama said to him.
You know what I'm saying?
Got to figure it out. She remember her when she was back in the club. She like, shit, all these niggas.
Yeah, it took me a while to loosen up, but I just say that because, like, man, Westchester back around your time and kind of my time, I'm sure they was rocking the bobs, the whole little whoop,
man.
Whoop.
Them bobs was fly. Them bobs,
Man.
I love a bob. A female could wear a bob today, and I'll be like, man, you know what? You better quit playing.
Bob, yeah, Bob still fly, man. You know, bitch, do it right and shit.
Rap. They still use the rap though. You remember that rap, and then they had a little piece hanging right here or something. You'd be like, girl. But see, I'm gonna tell you the difference. I'm gonna tell you how I'm a little cultured, just like you. Like you said, you did the Harbor City, but I'm pretty sure you didn't been into the inner city at this point in your life. So you done seen a lot. I'm living on the east side, like going to school on the west side, running around in the streets on the west side, coming home to the east side, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, coming back out. But I got the east side in me, then I got the west side in me too. Because I stayed at west side. I used to be at Lamert Park. You know, I was a tagger. I used to be from NBT. So, you know, I used to tag. So I was a Lamert Park baby. You know what I mean?
It's so funny you saying this because I had Razkaz on last week, and I knew Razkaz.
He's from that culture.
Man, I met Razkaz probably junior high at one of my cousin had a party, and I met him then. And then through the whole dancing part, I met him, and we were talking about it because I was like, dude, when I knew you, you were running up walls doing flips. Like that was his little signature thing. He could run up a wall and do a flip.
That's
and then
dope.
And when he decided, like, because he said he got into rapping later. And so when he got into rapping, he said for him, he kind of had to make a decision because when I would see Razkaz, like, okay, so after high school, after the dances and everything, and then Razkaz from Carson, which is like 10 minutes, 15 minutes from Harbor City. So he, you know, he was known. We knew. It's like you had certain cats that was popular for like what they did. He was a dancer, and then he started rapping. But I was telling him, it tripped me out because you got this dancer dude from Carson, used to dance with Divine Styler, all that kind of thing. But then he turns into this lyricist that like KRS-One's giving his props, like all these, you know, hella dudes. And I'm tripping out. And I'm asking him, because when I was seeing Razkaz, like let's say like 1990, 91, he'd be with Ice-T, he'd be with the Licks, he'd be with King T, he'd be with all these dudes that was very different.
Exhibit.
Yep. Very different than the dancers. So nah, that's a trip. So tell me this. When did you decide to get into your brand of I guess comedic acting, or what would be the proper term for what you do?
I do comedic actor because it started off like that, and it started off because this dude told me, the dumbass, he told me that you funny, bro, you funny, do this shit, let's do this, and we just came up with skits like we could do this shit too, you know what I'm saying? He was OG already. You know what I mean? He had been a rapper. He had been a actor. He already had Black Jesus. Before he met me, he had already did. Before we, I guess, they reconnected. He had already already did the Black Jesus that was on YouTube. You know what I mean? The starter kit.
Yeah.
Already did that. So it was just he gave, once he said I could do it, nigga, I was like, nigga, well, let's do it. And then it started just coming out of me, man. I started writing and shit, and then like I come up with good lines and shit. You know what I mean? For the movie to make it realistic but funny. You know what I'm saying? But still stay without having to try to be extra funny, but just some funny shit. So I started writing shit, and then he took me into ADD, man, All Def Digital, and shit. I wrote a script when I first got in there, man. They bought that motherfucker, and they did it. Me and him did it. And I'm like, okay. I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. And that was like within the first month, nigga. Like that was in the first couple of weeks, really.
Man, it's a trip. I was talking to one of my close friends, and this was like years ago, and not on no black man stuff, but he had said something to me. He's like, man, we have more power in our pinky sometimes that we don't use. Like other people that are doing great. That's what he said. He was like, other people that are doing what people say is spectacular, they don't even have what we have in our pinky, the tip of our pinky. You know what I'm saying? And we don't that guy. And we don't focus on it, but it's a trip how when you tap into your frequency, man, it just like it's like it's supposed to be.
I have a ball. I shot today. I was shooting today, man, in Long Beach and shit. So anytime I get a chance to get out there and do anything, I'm with it. I love the whole camaraderie, the crews, and like how everybody working together and it's cracking jokes are all around. It's just a fun time. And so when he took me out, once you love something, I'm like, I love this. So I really haven't stopped. I just slowed down because I have to pay bills and stuff. So sometimes you gotta drift off and make some other things happen. But
yeah. So how did you become co-founder or co-partner of the Smoke Yours crew? How did this happen?
Oh man, this is a ridiculous story. And we're gonna give you the inside because we're gonna supposed to be doing a movie about this shit. So, but we're gonna just tell you, you know what I'm saying? We know you ain't gonna tell nobody else.
Yeah.
So no, but for real though, what it was, like what we was show. When we hooked up, we was show. Both of us was show. We was broke, man. I'm just
people watching that don't understand the language. Show means broke, financial, without cash.
My bad.
Financially disadvantaged.
I forgot it from no time. My bad, cuz. No, but we was broke. So it was like a race for us to call each other in the morning and say, smoke yours. Because if he called me first in the morning and said, smoke yours, I have to either smoke mine or I got to figure out where the fuck we gonna get some weed from. But the whole thing about it, it's like it became such a normal, regular thing for us. We started talking about it like, man, we could just make this shit into a crew because we already had another crew and we already had like meetings with them up. We was like, we had NFU. We could do Smoke Yours crew, nigga, like, because everybody NFU don't smoke, whatever, nigga. We do Smoke Yours crew, which is basically like, and then by this time he was figuring out that Black Jesus was about to work too. So he like, we gonna run with this, you know what I mean? And we just start pushing it. We push it so tough.
Well,
I bought about 40, 50 shirts. I sold about 10 of them in war to rest. I'm talking about I wore a Smoke Yours shirt every day. Like
we knew it would work because we started hitting our friends, our mutual friends. We'll hit them up like, yo, Smoke Yours.
Oh yeah.
Trey Lucas up, man. Shout out to Trey Lucas.
Yeah. I forgot about them times. That was some fun times right there because that's when we got our first reaction. Now I'm kind of used to the reaction and I got something to come back for the reaction at this point because it's been so many years. But when we first started doing it, you should have seen the people's faces, man. It was like, hey, what's going on? People walk up to you, hey, man, what's going on? How you doing, man? Hey, what's going on? Hey, you got some weed? You know, for the first thing you ask a person, you don't even know this person. You got some weed?
Yeah, that's our icebreaker, though. That's the maybe you got some dope?
And I say it's been well branded because I want to say, maybe in John Henry when Slink is in roles and he can, he drop it in there on him, and I was like, oh man.
I wore my sweater in an episode of Black Jesus when I robbed the lady at the in the Hummer and shit. I had the whole sweater on. They got beat up in it though. I got beat up.
Yeah, you did.
Nah, that's tight. So since you've been doing your comedic acting, your writing, who have you seen become polished and they were like at one level when you first dealt with them, and then you just
how you want me? Where you want me to start? Shit.
Hey,
all right, and I can call all these people right now on the phone. You know what I mean? We can go with Kevin on stage.
Who? Kevin Hart?
Kevin on stage.
Okay.
Tony Baker.
Okay.
Okay. This is people that's like they Tiffany Haddish.
Okay. So you saw before they was kind of percolating to the point where it was
hell
like,
yeah.
ooh.
Yeah. Smoke yours. Shit.
You know, again,
Like,
not to say that we, you know, motherfuckers saw their whole journey, but right before the shit caught fire, it probably was already burning. But right before it started catching fire for them, you know, we got an opportunity to see them at those points.
So you could say that you've seen a Tiffany Haddish go on stage and everybody's kind of struggling. Everybody's like, man, we hungry comedians right now. We trying to get it, whatever. And then you saw
did I meet Tiffany Haddish when she was broke? Yes.
Well, before her.
Before the stuff.
For the climb.
I mean, but not saying that she was like some bum or something.
No, I'm not saying that.
She was funny as fuck. She was funny as fuck.
Yeah,
She was doing shit.
She had not cracked over the mainstream bubble.
Yeah, she had just didn't break that barrier yet.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like no, not like
just
that.
Break the barrier. I'm talking about break the barrier.
Yeah.
This nigga love himself. Make America Crip again, cuz.
Oh, nice ass Crip, cuz.
Why you smiling so much, my nigga?
You're a nice ass Crip, cuz.
Is you standing on the enemy? That's the only way you should be smiling like that.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm saying? So tell me this, Deloor, when I was going through some of your IG stuff, I noticed I saw Schoolboy Q in quite a few, or rather you in quite a few pictures with Schoolboy Q on stage, whatnot, whatever.
Yeah.
So how'd that relationship come about?
That's my little homie. You know what I mean? Okay. Like we from the same set. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, that's why he got the 512 right here on his arm. Check it out. He got 512. I'm an original member. Like we started the 5-1 part.
Okay.
Hey, let me tell the truth, man. This nigga Deloor, Schoolboy Q is Schoolboy Q for a reason. He's a very astute student, and Deloor James was the nigga's tutor. He was tutoring Schoolboy Q for 4 years. I talk like, oh, you from my set, nigga. You was a tutor, nigga.
I look like a tutor, huh?
Yeah. Now carry the two, cuz.
They go a skit right there, the Crip tutor right there. Okay, they go a skit. Don't put that down. Put that down, Slink.
All right, yeah.
No, but yeah, we just from the same area, and I've been knowing him before he got big. He used to come on 53rd in Vermont to the homies' little studio, put it down, you know, with traffic and like he's from 5 Super, I'm from 5'1", and his brother, which is his hype man, he's from 5'1". So they basically, I've been around since the beginning, so that's all. He just got a lot of respect for me.
So definitely before he got with TDE then, huh?
Yeah, hell yeah. He from Hoover. He's from Hoover when I met him.
So tell me this, when he was rapping, were you like, okay, this cat gonna blow? He gonna blow. He gonna blow. He gonna blow.
Everybody was.
Okay.
I mean, everybody was, because coming from where I come from, we not gonna put down talent when we see it in our own ranks, because we already got enough stuff on our shoulders already.
Against you. Yeah.
Against us already. So go for it. You know what I mean? Like when you know how you see movies with a gang member try to make the nigga go to school and play football and not ditch school and go. That's how we, that's how he was with him. Like it didn't matter to us if he went and shot people up and all that shit. Get your ass in the studio and do what you do, bro. And he hooked up with the right people, and that's all. Sometimes that's all it takes, when you get around the right people.
And so with you, when did you decide you wanted to do comedy and write? Like, was this something that came, or it was just you were kind of doing it and then you ran across Slink, or you started doing it out?
Oh man, like I always had jokes, but that don't matter. It's like I wasn't thinking about doing no comedy or nothing up until maybe 6 years ago. You know what I mean? No, probably about 7 years ago. Just thinking about just trying to get into the funny stuff. You know what I mean? But before that, it was like more. It was just, it was just on the grind, on the hustle and shit. Just trying to stay alive in LA. But then meeting him, like I said, once he told me I could do it, then I believed him basically. Shit.
So how did you guys meet though? You just was both at something comedy related?
No, he used to go ahead and tell him, Slink.
Well, me and as Deloor accounted for his time at Lamert Park when we was younger, we both were taggers. You know what I mean? And I was from NBT as well. But it was just so many niggas at the time. We didn't develop a personal relationship until years later. We had a mutual friend bring us together. Like, you don't remember this nigga? You don't remember this nigga? Yeah. So
and that was what, about 2011, 12?
Yeah, I was like 2011.
Oh, wow, that ain't no time ago.
That ain't no time ago, but we talking about the prior though, rewinding back to 88, 89.
88, okay. 89, 90, yeah.
So again, although we didn't have we wasn't doing a whole lot of kicking it, I think our rapport and our kinship come from the fact that we came from the same
cloth,
same area, same time.
You said it right.
Huh?
Same cloth.
Same cloth, yeah, same. He was at one end, he was at the janky tattered end, and I was at the good end of the cloth though.
Oh, you was at the little cursive signature end of it? My shit had like a little blue rag on the tip.
That's a little bit frayed. Fuck it. Yeah, but our mutual friend, Theory. Shout out to Theory.
Theory, old nice ass nigga. That nigga's a nice ass nigga. Theory is nice.
He's a bionic albino. He's a real strong ass albino nigga.
He's like the $6,000 man.
He's the $6,000 man. That nigga the $6,000 man. He's the $600 man. Fuck you. Hey kid, fuck you.
Wait till he see this shit. We gonna make sure he see it too. Don't worry about nothing. Everybody about to see it.
Nah, though, but I was kind of, I've been kind of quiet, Greg, been letting Deloor get his shit off, but in Deloor James, man, I think I found again somebody cut from the same cloth. A G, we got our comedic stylings and time and synergy is just it's just off the chain. Like, again, and we got a certain sense of humor that resonates between the two of us, and I'm pretty sure, niggas our generation. I don't want to say old or sound like I'm old, but again, we ain't the millennials, but shit, we still funny and got funny shit to talk about.
Right.
I think older cats and G's, the older you get, the funnier you get because you seen shit and you can see.
Right. And you know how far, pretty much how far you could go. You know what I mean? Yeah. Without disturbing the masses. You know what I mean? So we kind of thread that line kind of tight, but we good, you know what I mean?
I'll tell you a funny moment with a Slink. Yeah, he probably ain't gonna be cool with this, but it ain't horrible. But it was fun. It was actually very funny. So one night we go and he hooked up with this dude who wanted him to tell some jokes at his dad's birthday party, and so we get up there and they was waiting on him, but I think the guy's son was late or something like that. So we waiting on this dude's son, and he just like, he a super Slink fan, all this, that, and the son is just thinking in his mind like, oh man, I'm the greatest son in the world, man. I got Slink Johnson. He about to tell some jokes at my daddy's. It was either his birthday or retirement. Was it retirement or birthday?
Retirement.
Oh yeah.
That nigga ain't shit. I can see it in his face.
Man, I got up there talking about fuck them kids.
He was talking about, such and such. Yeah, you look like from your age in the 80s, you probably had it cracking and a lot of dope money was going on. And
the nigga, the nigga had the yay, homie. You could tell he had the Nissan truck on the
He owned the construction company, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, homeboy owned the construction company.
That's what all the dope dealers do. They buy construction companies and tow trucks.
And hire the homies. And hire the homies.
Nigga.
Yeah, but it was hilarious because he got it and his wife got it, but a lot of the other guests was a lot of the people locking eyes and looking at
really? Like, really? This is what you chose?
Yeah. And then Slink finished and homeboy was like, oh man, you really did, you know what I'm saying? You did cool and woo woo woo. And I was just like, man, what did I just see, man? But his mother was happy with it and his father was happy with it. So that was, you know, and it was, and fools was laughing. But
I
man,
mean, you got what you got who you asked for. You expect the nigga
Got
to
it.
come up there and water it down. You
yeah,
got
they
Lamar.
they want
got somebody from GTA. Come on,
they
man.
wanted the G homie. They wanted to see one of the G homies like DC Carey maybe. You know what I'm saying? One of the
Oh, okay.
one of the big-
They thought you was mature.
yeah, they thought I was mature.
yeah, they was expecting something a little. I mean, the son knew the father was, you know, man, he was having a good time with it. His wife was a G. She was, you know, she was with him. And he just kept saying, yeah, you around the 8. Yeah, a lot of dope money, man. Yeah, a lot of dope money. Yeah, you look like
The real ones was laughing though. The real ones was laughing. I know they was like, this nigga was a fool. Just to be bold enough to be at that, like doing that though.
But it's a trip when I saw him pull it off though, because he did pull it off. It wasn't a disaster. You know what I'm saying? It's just he was a little rawer than a lot of the, you know, the people there. And I was like, man, Slink got something, man. Not that it took me to say that he got something or whatever, but I was like, man, he rocked the crowd. Even though he didn't destroy the crowd, he rocked the crowd. Can
I tell you something?
Huh?
This motherfucker pulled a gun out at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, I know.
This nigga pulled a gun out at the Comedy Store. He got up on that Comedy Store stage and he rocked it though. He rocked it. This nigga in the middle of his shit, he pulled out the burner on the whole crowd.
That was part of the set. That was part of the set.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did it when I did it, because now, I mean, it was only like 2014 maybe I did that, but now times are so sensitive.
Ooh, you would have got shot.
Oh, he went to jail. I got shot.
I pulled a blower out on stage, and it was most of the people in the crowd were my people. I had invited my people, you know what I mean? So when I pulled the burner out, they was still laughing. They was going. The white folks were scared as fuck, and they froze for a minute and seen the niggas laughing. It was like, oh, okay, this is part of the show.
Hey, they didn't know what to do with this nigga. So that's kind of
they banned me. They banned me and unbanned me before I made it out the club. They banned me and unbanned me. I ain't even got out the club yet and got banned and unbanned.
Hey man, you fortunate. So tell me this: for those who don't know, who would you say are if you had to give your top 3 comedic influences, alive or not alive? It doesn't have to be any order, but who are your comedic influences?
Eddie Murphy, Corey Holcomb, Richard Pryor.
Dang, that's a heavy. that's real though. That's real. Like, man, you know the thing about Corey, I'll say this. I feel this kind of the same way I felt about watching Black Jesus. I feel like I shouldn't want to watch him as much as I want to watch him, and I feel disgusted with myself. But I find myself back at that same place, man, every time, man.
He take you there. You
can't feel disgusted, man. Corey takes you to a place of truth. This is a hard place, man. Some of us don't want to go deep down inside of us. That's how I really fucking feel. A lot of us really fucking feel the way Corey speaks.
I'll say this. I won't say truth, but I'll say this. I'm gonna tell you what he's a genius at. He's a genius at making you think he's not as smart as he is, because and he plays that, and he's really an intelligent comedian, and that's what that's really. I mean, you got to go through a lot of stuff, but
the nigga truly is raw. He truly is raw. Like he can say the most uncomfortable shit, nigga, to your face. It is. You have to just be like, God damn, nigga.
Oh man,
God damn.
Yeah, I watched a lot of that over and over and over as he's kind of going off on people on his show and whatnot, and I'm just like, oh
man.
And so tell me this, Slink. So tell me this, Slink. So okay, so you got Corey Holcomb, you got Eddie Murphy, and you said Richard Pryor.
Yes, sir.
what would you say is your favorite Eddie Murphy scene? Or even if it was in stand-up, because I'm gonna tell you something about me and Eddie Murphy, and I've had the argument with Imani and Brown a million times on the road. We're all talking. I could never get delirious, dude. I could never catch it. Like I could never catch it. I still haven't seen it all the way through. Like my affection towards Eddie Murphy comes from like him
Beverly
acting.
Hills Cop.
You know what? Not even really, Coming to America. You know what I'm saying? I would say one that people are not gonna give him, but I'll say one of his greatest roles was Vampire in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
Vampire, bro. That's just hilarious.
Now, I'm gonna say this, man. I think Eddie. The thing about Eddie Murphy for me, man, I think he grasped me early on in life during the Delirious.
Yeah, Delirious got me.
And once he got to the big screen, and with Beverly Hills Cop in 48 Hours, I think 48 Hours in particular really made me feel like a comic can be a badass.
And not just a fool.
Not just a fool, not just a joke. You got Eddie Murphy, this motherfucking 48 Hours, he prisoner being on furlough, talking shit to this white ass police, talking shit, fighting him, going in the club, faking like he a cop, nigga.
Getting the girl, getting that off.
The word trim came to the mainstream. Now, motherfuckers, I'll hear me say trim all the time because trim is something I love and it's very endearing thing. You know what I'm talking about? Very revered, but trim came from, in my knowledge, it came from Eddie Murphy. I heard Eddie Murphy say trim. Now, I don't know where he got trim from, but I'm going to give it to Eddie Murphy. And ever since then, I've been in love with trim. Might try to find me something tonight.
You know this live, right?
Hmm?
You know this live, right? It's stupid.
I thought
He just disappeared. Oh, it's live?
Classic.
You are stupid. You
And
stupid.
so
Let me
then
get my chart.
All right. And so we said Richard Pryor. What was your favorite Richard Pryor situation, be it stand-up or be it a movie?
Oh, Richard Pryor. I can't name one in particular right now. I just think Richard's, again, this is now coming as an older dude. I think Richard's raw, unabashed honesty. You know what I mean? Just by some of the things he talked about, like comedians are honest, period. You know what I mean? Generally more honest than non-comedians, just for the simple fact that it is our job to paint life in a way, paint truth in a way that's funny. Mm-hmm. And Richard Pryor is definitely a G and a GOAT for, expressing himself the way he did. You know what I mean? And again, in a world where, he had spoken on, things involving sexuality coming up, fucking drug abuse and shit. It take a lot for a motherfucker to be that raw and be that real. And I have to give it to him for that. And I'm sure he suffered a lot in his personal life, dealing with those thoughts, feelings, and things going on in his life. But he was a G, man. And that's, long story short, I probably was supposed to make that funny, but long story short, Richard Pryor just a G. That's it. He's a G. Say what the fuck he want. It is what it is. He ain't got no choice. Love that nigga.
And I'll say these two things. I feel like the two movies that he did, his stand-up is just like, man, to me, there is no better stand-up that I've seen of the elders, just because, but because I'm a 70s baby and he was wild. Like Red Fox was like, I guess raunchy, if you want to say raunchy or whatever. Like they would, like their way of getting the comedic pull would be something like a titty, funky ass. You know what I'm saying? It would be funny, but it would just be so that way. And Richard, to me, I would say, Which Way Is Up? I would say that influenced Eddie Murphy and the Clumps and like all that kind of stuff where you have the main actor play all these different roles and really pull it off. And then I'll say, I don't know the name of the movie, but the movie that he did with I want to say Cicely Tyson was he had to drive these little kids on a bus.
Yeah.
Cicely Tyson was in it.
Yeah, I remember that movie. That was
Which one is up?
Which Way Was Up was the one where he played all four. When he was the preacher and he got ran over and the casket was paper thin.
Walking through the middle of the street and shit.
Yeah.
At the end. He was driving the bus and the blind dude drove the bus and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot the name. Shit.
So
Slink, what's the name of that shit?
So you, Deloor, I say, if you had to give it up to your top 3 comedic influences, who would they be?
Man, I can't stray away from, like Slink said, but I'm gonna give it up though. I'm gonna say Richard Pryor. I'm gonna say Eddie Murphy, because I really do love him. That's what I love. That's the shit that that's if I inspire to do anything, I inspire to say what the fuck I want to, cuss when I want to, do whatever I want to if I do something. You know what I mean? So, and then Slink Johnson.
Right on. Thanks, homie. Thank you, homie.
Slink
Hey, you
Johnson.
all right with me, man? You still owe me $26, nigga. I still want my money though, man. Don't try to butter me up on fucking camera, nigga. I still want my money.
You got Venmo?
Yeah, I got Venmo. Hey, let me call you right back.
I tell you the funny thing about Slink, because me, dealing with hip hop, I've been in a space with like pop artists as well as, rap or hip hop artists or reggae, whatever, that I really like. Man, I really like them a lot. I really like listen to their music or been on their craft a lot. And so I'll say 2 times I probably, two times is too much. I'll say 1 time I lost my cool and approached somebody and I kind of like, oh man, it wasn't horrible. No, I'll tell the story. It's a good one. So we were at Coachella with Gorillaz and Brown was performing with Gorillaz, and the Gorillaz are performing. I mean, it's an incredible night. I don't know if you guys know about punk rock or just whatever, but they had the bass player and the guitar player from The Clash performing with them. And so we're riding from the little condo or hotel into Coachella, and I'm with like Paul Simonon, the dudes, like they did Radio, This Is Radio Clash, Rock the Casbah, all this kind of stuff. So we rolling up to the stage in a van, and they're bumping some reggae that I'd never heard. And I was like, dang, that's crazy. These dudes, like, they getting loose to some real dope reggae. So anyway, Prince Buster. I think Prince Buster was the name. So anyway, we go to the show. Gorillaz get on stage. Jay-Z and Beyonce come over there. It's all kind of people back, like that was like the main stage. There's all kind of crazy people around or whatever. And so the lead singer of the Gorillaz was working on this project at the time, who had Fela Kuti's drummer who passed away, rest in peace, Tony Allen, and Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers was the bass player. So, so everybody was kind of like in the back area of the stage, and they had food, just all kind of stuff going on. But then they had like a little kind of like a place where not everybody could go, but I guess it was kind of like a backstage, but like the personal backstage.
Right.
And so Flea shows up, and he had been working on this album with Damon for a while, the dude from the Gorillaz. Like they had been working, but they hadn't actually, I guess, been in the same space maybe. And so I go up to Flea and I'm like, man, I'm a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, man. Can I just take a picture? Can I take it? And he said, man, I just really want to see my homeboy, man. My homeboy's just right there, man. I gotta see him, man. I just gotta go, man. And I'm like, dude, you can't take a picture? And he's like, nah. And dude, this was like, this is probably like 2012, maybe 2012, 2013, whatever. So he wasn't feeling it, and he bonked out. So I'm cool with a couple of the guys from De La Soul. And so, because they were out with Gorillaz too. So we've done like, I've been around probably like 60, 70 shows with the dude. So we all pretty cool. So I brought it up to Maceo, and I was like, man, something crazy just happened. And I was like, dude, I hit Flea up and I tried to get a picture, and he just bumped out on me, and he was like, oh, I gotta see my homeboy. And Maceo was like, nah, man, it wasn't personal, man. You just gotta understand, man. They homeboys, they ain't seen each other. They at Coachella or whatever. So he broke it down to me that way. And then he's like, nah, man, Flea's a cool dude. So I say all that to say, when I approach people, I really not just loose with it, and I kind of just get a little reserved. But with Slink, I let him know from jump, like, man, I really get into your comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like a fan of like what you do, and it's been amazing because I can even say since the corona has jumped off, you know, he's gotten into producing a little bit. He's gotten into definitely way more writing, and just this whole evolution of kind of where, like, before COVID, he was like doing other people's, like, they, you know, call him in to act or do what he does. But the whole COVID process, and I'm going somewhere with this, like Boo Capone say, man, let me land. I know I'm long-winded with it.
Oh, that's my nigga, man.
I know I'm long-winded, but I'm going somewhere. So it's like the COVID is a trip because it brought the best and the worst out of people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you was teetering, for me looking at Slink, I'm like, man, he's really like, okay, I may like to act and I may like to go and get in other people's skits and whatever, but I love to do mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love to do my, like, the way his mind works methodically and him not having the crew or whatever, and writing and all that. I'll say for you, with what you do in the COVID, like, how has it affected you? And do you think the COVID has leveled out the playing field? And I'm saying this to also throw in the guys that never really did skits and stuff like that, like within the last, I'll say, Instagram sensations. You know what I'm saying? People who, they're not really actors, but they can do something funny on Instagram, and them kind of trying to step into the writing and all that. Like, how do you feel about that?
Slink?
No, I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking to you. I'm like, okay.
No. I was talking about Slink, but I was talking to you. Yeah.
Okay. I like what I'm seeing. Like, I'm liking what I'm seeing because, like, a lot of it was a lot more. It was like real flooded for a minute. You know what I mean? It was real flooded. And it's like they didn't weed it out the talent to where you don't see as much like bullshit skits or bullshit stuff. Everybody stepped their game up. And, you know, I appreciate it because I like to laugh. You know what I mean? So to everybody that's, you know, moving up to producing and moving up to writing more and buying your own cameras and spending 10,000, 18, 20,000 on your equipment, man, go do it. You're investing in yourself and just get out there and work. You know what I mean? Because I'm liking what I've been seeing. Like, everybody's stuff is big. It's clear. You know what I mean? Everybody's stuff. You still got a few little stragglers coming in or whatever. You say, all right, this again. You know what I mean? This again. I don't like to say this again when I see a skit or see a comedian. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, you know, I like for them to show different angles and shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, big ups to the people that's making
It's time. This COVID put us in a position where you have to, because shit, Hollywood ain't working, man.
Man, I'm looking around because there's bills around this motherfucker. I just want to make sure don't none of them sneak up behind me. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Tap you on your shoulder.
Man, hey, like, I need to talk to you for a second.
Hey, excuse me, brother.
So for you, Deloor, would you say doing comedy or writing? Which would you, if you had to pull one out the hat, which would you?
Man, keep it real. I would just like, what you mean, the acting shit, like, you know, whatever. Just
yeah, know, like you know, doing skits and all that, or writing.
I like man, I like to write though, because like I don't really like to write, but I love to write, but I like to act. But I learned so much acting. I don't know how to explain. I learned so much acting. It's like I feel like I can keep going acting. Like, you know what I mean? I might be a little limited in the writing part. You feel me?
I'm gonna tell you something that was my interview before last. I did MCA,
Okay.
and he told me something that blew my mind, man. And I'll say it changed me from that moment. And he said that when he did his role in Menace to Society, he really didn't care to act after that. And he felt that he did a good job in that. He did a good job with that role because that's the kind of person, you know, he'd been around that. He'd seen it,
Right,
like,
right.
what he knew. And he was like, he was like, man, okay, I did this. Now I need to go back to rapping. Because I was like, man, you're okay, an actor, a rapper. Okay, you know, you're iconic for the music that you made in LA. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And then
right.
you do this movie where, like, not to compare him to another actor.
I wanted more from him. I wanted more from him.
I say like a Tupac. I say like a Tupac. Like he did that, man. He really did. He really did that role, but he wasn't interested in it at all. And he's like, no. He's like, nah. I never thought. I never went back. I never had any regrets or whatever. He said he might have did a role if it was that kind of a role. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what he knows. You know what I'm saying? But what was so admirable about it was that, man, he did something great. He killed it, and he didn't just kind of like he didn't diminish the way that we saw him in Menace to Society. Like, man, that
like you said, if he say he don't have no regrets, then I don't have no regrets either.
Yeah.
From what I remember, he was good. From what I remember, I can't name nothing else that he did and he wasn't good.
Yeah, nah, he's ridiculous.
Come on, niggas.
Right. Hey, homie, you need some help?
And it's crazy because until the interview and me talking and thinking about it, I'm like, I couldn't remember if that was before Boys to the Hood, but what I do remember is that that's a cult classic. I'm like, man, that is you know, and that's kind of feeling like, damn, I'm old. Like, man, that really, like, Men's Society was really a movie where you know what I'm saying?
So think about it. Let me tell you something, Dan. Probably one factor. I don't want to assume, but I would think that he probably got more money off of the soundtrack than he did off of acting.
That's what he said. You're absolutely right. That comes to me because he was like, when he said I could do these soundtracks. He's like, what? And he just, that I didn't even look at it like that. He said it, but I'm thinking, but you know, he had some major deals, but he had some independent deals, but it all makes sense because it's like, okay, if you're acting, you got to learn lines, you're gonna have to audition, you have to go through all this.
What I learned in it, like, it's like you have to, you know, like Slink, he's seasoned. He SAG, he all of that. So it was like he gonna come in, they gonna offer him this little money, and he gonna take it, you know, just because it's his first acting role and then the role. Like, hell yeah, I do that shit, girl. He was like, girl, it's on, nigga. I'm about to watch me play this part, you know what I mean? And I'm doing a soundtrack. Then he got that soundtrack check, and he's still getting the check from that. So he probably don't even get no check from the Menace Society shit no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I never even looked at it like that. That's what's up. So, what progression do you see, Deloor, with the interaction of people as we go through this whole Corona situation? With your man Slink, man, he's done some stuff that's looked like American Horror Story to me, man. I've seen him at the party, boy. And I'm like, this dude is around. He very close, man, in close proximity.
Ooh. He don't know, huh? Shit.
Yeah.
But you know what? What I saw, what I see in this, and what I'm taking good out of this is that I get to spend a whole lot of time with my family.
Yeah, I've been able to spend
a whole lot of time with my kids, with my wife. She working home. Everybody here right now. My son, he get up and get the hell out of here, but he'll be back with his 2 kids. So my grandsons, you know, I get to be around them. When if it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? So that's what I take good out of. Bad is I need to make some more money. But things are, things are coming together. So I mean, God, I mean, shit, I'm cool,
Yeah.
Cool. Shit,
But yeah, it's the fact that I get to be around my family more, like me and my wife of 20-something years, 27 to be exact. We went to Vegas last weekend, yeah, but we wasn't around a lot of people. We old people, so we got destinations when we go out there. And then
Get the drinks, get the food. Get the drinks,
man,
get the food.
man, come on now, you already
Drinks,
know.
get the food.
Right back to the room, baby. What's on TV? So then we went to San Diego. My birthday was Saturday.
Belated happy birthday, man.
Oh, thank you, brother. I turned cool ass 47 on Saturday. I know I should have shaved the shit, man. I could have looked like at least 42 right now. I can get to like 41 and a half, 42.
Oh man, 37 is my club age. You know.
Okay. But I gotta take all this out, make it all thin. You gotta make it thin as hell all the way around, like the Teddy Riley thin.
Teddy.
So you don't expose that many grays. And then you gotta super clean the head. And then I'll be like 42.
Cool. Well, nah, man. I appreciate both y'all for tapping in, man. Once again, Slink always come through like the smoke yours bandit he is. You know what I'm saying? Holding it down, very tough.
I need some weed right now, man.
Yeah, he was telling me about you supposed to be giving us weed and all this shit. That's what he was telling me.
Yeah, man. I didn't want to let everybody let the watchers know, man. You know
okay.
You gotta, man.
Hey, I'm gonna retract that statement.
Yeah, but we will shout out California Cannabis, one of those sponsors, ins and outs. You know what I'm saying? California Cannabis.
Smoke yours, Cannabis.
Virgil Grant.
Cannabis.
Virgil Grant. Soto location, Melrose location, Crenshaw location. We keep that right. Well, nah, man, I want to thank y'all for tapping in, man. I really appreciate it. I'm definitely I just became a fan of your work, Deloor, with the skit that you guys did. I believe you was playing. Nah, you were in the store. You weren't. Slink was Pops. You know what I'm saying? Wiping things on his wife beater. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wiping the.
That's like the most recent. It's about to get busy, but Palmetto.
Yeah. So you
gotta go a little bit back on my shit. I ain't did skits in a minute really, so I've been just doing little stuff with everybody else. But you go back to my shit. I did some funny ass shit.
No, I'm gonna go and do the research, man. It's like I used to be a DJ, and I would get records, and I would throw a crate to the side, and I'd always come back to it about 3 or 4 years later, and I'd be like, dang, I had this all that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, she was right here. So
we discover a lot of our music like that. I know I discovered a lot of music like that should have been out, that I should have been on.
Yeah.
About 4 or 5 years later, like, oh, this shit is banging.
Man, I'll say, it's I'm always late with a lot of stuff, and I just accept it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, well, okay, man. I at least I caught up. You know what I'm saying? At least I caught up. Yeah, I accept it though. I'm definitely late, like on a lot of stuff. I'll say Eddie Murphy, man, like Delirious. I cannot, and Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live. Like, I try to catch the humor, but I've seen his other humor, so it's hard for me, I guess, to catch Delirious. He's not, whatever, but on Saturday Night Live. But I will say this though.
Let me ask you one question real quick.
Huh?
When did you see Delirious? How old were you when you first really saw Delirious?
My 20s. Then I tried again in my 30s.
See. Delirious came out when you was like, about 10?
Yeah, kid. Yeah.
I seen it when it came out. So that's why I can appreciate it. And then I kept watching it.
Oh, so you followed his career from that point, and so that okay.
Yeah. Like, because remember, you gotta remember, I'm an East Side baby, so we watched everything. Like, we saw it wasn't no kind of hold to nothing. Like, it wasn't like, turn that off. Them kids can't watch that. They just turn the shit on, and we gonna watch it too. You know what I mean? I mean, it might be sad. It might be sad, but from the very beginning of it, from the very fucking when it come on, the shit is fucking hilarious to me. Delirious. And since I was young. And then as I got older, I got to appreciate it getting older. When I got 15, and I could understand more of it. But I had already had it embedded in my head so much. Me and all my friends always was saying the jokes, you know, from junior. It was like what, junior high when that shit came out?
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you that one of the only times I watched a whole episode of Saturday Night Live was when he came back. And he killed it. Like, it was so crazy how he commanded those roles that he did. Mr.
Robinson neighborhood.
Yeah, Mr. Robinson. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah. So what's up, Slink? You got anything upcoming? Anything you want to shout out? Anything going on?
Oh man, a lot of shit, man. A lot of shit. I'm not high right now. I want to say that I'm not high. Dirty Cops LA movie coming soon. Baby Gangster, the movie, out right now. Go to PrideInUnity.com or Vimeo on demand and check out Baby Gangster. That's out right now. And again, I said Dirty Cops LA coming soon. We got apocalypse shit. Apocalypse.
Question.
Yes, sir.
I just want to put this in there real quick. Make sure I get the camera right so I can see your face. Why wasn't I in Baby Gangster? Okay, that's the answer right
there. You see your shit froze.
Oh, classic.
That nigga froze. I gotta fuck with him on your show. So
I wanted to charge the casting, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You know I love you though, boy.
I know what's happening.
That's cool. So
about it.
Give them your YouTube, Slink.
Yo, find me on all your social networks at Slink Johnson. Find me on YouTube, youtube.com/Slink. Slink Johnson Takes America, the tour. Texas, Arkansas, Memphis, Georgia, Alabama.
Here we come, baby. Here we come.
Mississippi. Fucking Louisiana, Texas. We there, man. Phoenix. Slink Johnson Takes America. Shit, man. Booking dates right now, man. If you see yourself on that list of places, hit me up. bookslinkjohnson@gmail.com, or you hit g@ch1media.com.
Yeah, either or. So Deloor, you want to give your socials? Give your, you know what I'm saying, what you got going?
Oh yeah, that nigga can give his social security number out. His motherfucking credit so bad right now.
Did I talk while you was talking? Nah, you go freeze again. Anyway, so I'm Deloor James on everything, man. On YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Deloor James. Facebook is Deloor James. Everything is Deloor James. DELOOR James. JAMES. Deloor James.
Nah, man. Hey, what if I try to freeze on you? What if I try to freeze and my kids running in the background?
Hey, I did that shit to Romeo. I just froze on the nigga, started asking me about my plants, right? So I just froze on him. But my blunt was still lit. So the smoke was still going through there. That nigga's like, nigga, I can see the smoke moving, nigga.
You stop playing, nigga.
Yeah, we need to grow up, Slink.
Yeah, you do. You gotta grow up, homie.
Well, no, man, I'm looking to more from you guys, man. I'm looking to see some writing, some more comedic acting, some more top shelf skits. You know what I'm saying? I felt that what's the proper name for the one you guys just did?
Pops Pull Up.
Okay, Pops Pull Up. Yeah. whoever's watching, make sure you go to Slink's YouTube channel and watch Pops pull up. And yeah, him and Deloor are very hilarious. You know what I'm saying?
So we smoking yours, and you know what it is all the time because that's what we do.
Well, thank y'all for tuning in once again. Splendid Radio on PharcydeTV. Peace.